The UAE is overhauling their family law, but a lot still needs to be done. One of the biggest negatives I have brought out about the UAE is the strict Sharia law that a lot of expats do not like, which I've actually gone over in other videos before. That's changing for the better, but if the UAE really wants to grow fast and be different than most countries, they should shorten the period of time it takes to get citizenship in the UAE and also allow dual citizenship there. Women still don't have equal rights in that if a foreign male marries an Emirati female, the foreign male will never get UAE citizenship, whereas if the reverse occurs, the female would get UAE citizenship. The UAE has a lot going for it in that it has probably the best travel document as far as visa-free countries of all the countries in the Middle East. But this country could boom if there were just a few more changes. Foreigners should also have the same rights in winning a court case as a local Emirati, and this is just not the case. The judicial system is geared towards the national over the foreigner in every case. I've seen this firsthand in the years that I actually lived there. One positive thing that I do really like about the UAE is one of the few countries in the world that has a population of around 10 million people, including nationals and expats, that still does not have an income tax, not only inside the country, but also outside the country too. And there are very few countries in the world that have this with that type of population. There are still a lot of negatives that need to be changed to really make this country grow. I will have to say that the UAE is getting better at this than Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia is actually getting worse. I do think that in the next 10 years or less, the UAE will come out with an income tax. In this video, I'm actually going to be going over these changes on family law matters and how this is going to affect you if you're going to be living there or if you're actually living in the UAE right now. Also, if you want to learn more how to legally get your taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 3 months, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button to the right of the screen here, and you'll get new videos as they come out automatically. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to the right of the subscribe button. And number 2 is I'd like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below and I'll be glad to get back with you and see what I can do to help solve your problem. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and hit that button at the top of the home page that says apply with us, and then fill out that questionnaire, and then hit that button at the bottom of the page that says send it to us so we can help you get started. We deal with a lot of citizenship by investment and residency by investment countries I think you'd be interested in learning about. Okay, now let's get started on this. The UAE government has embarked on one of the biggest overhauls of the legal system in years, with changes to family law and other areas affecting people's daily lives. This was just announced this past Saturday. The laws effective immediately reflect progressive measures to improve living standards and for the UAE to continue to be a destination for foreign direct investment from people all over the world. Amendments to existing laws and the introduction of new laws seek to regulate crucial personal and civil laws with provisions allowing non-Emiratis to have their personal affairs dealt with according to the law of their home country. Reforms will affect laws that relate to divorce and separation and how laws and assets are divided. The changes also mean that the laws of a person's country of origin can be used for divorces and inheritance, meaning that Islamic law or Sharia would be rarely used when it comes to family law cases involving expatriates. Now, a number of these measures have been discussed in the UAE for some time and reflect a major milestone in the country's continued judicial progress. One of the most significant developments relates to divorce, separation and division of assets if a marriage breaks down. If a couple were to marry in their home country but gets a divorce in the UAE, the laws of their country where the marriage took place will actually apply. The new laws that they mention joint assets and joint accounts, and that the court could be called in to mediate if there was no agreement between the two parties. The changes also cover wills and inheritance. Until now, family members of a deceased person, particularly in acrimonious cases, could also have found assets were divided among, actually under Sharia law, which expats may be unused to. Now, a person's citizenship will dictate how their assets are actually divided among their next of kin unless they have a will. And I would advise people to get a prenuptial agreement. I've got other videos on that I advise people to do that, plus an offshore bank account. I've mentioned this on other videos that you should be watching dealing with this matter. But they talk about here, and the one exception is for property purchase in the UAE, which will be managed according to UAE law. This is one of the things that I've told you before, is I would not be buying property in the UAE, not just for Sharia law purposes, but the properties have done really bad there. If you go back to, I know people personally there that bought in 2007, and their properties are worth less than what they were in 2007. They just overbuilt tremendously, and it's a real problem there. And there are the laws dealing with real estate laws. They got some of the worst real estate laws of any place I've ever been. I've got other videos on that too. It's a mess. My advice is there's so many other places you can invest in properties, but I would not go there. They do have good tax laws, but you can go other places that don't have income taxes where you have better real estate laws than the UAE. In Dubai, non-Muslims have been able to register wills with Dubai International Financial Center's Wills and Probate Registry, which is linked to the government, but not in Dubai's state-run civil courts for some years now. In Abu Dhabi, non-Muslims have been able to register a will at the Emirates Judicial Department since 2017. Anyway, if you want to learn more how to legally get your taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 3 months, hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen here. You'll get new videos as they come out automatically. I'd like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below and I'll get back with you. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and hit the button at the top of the homepage that says apply with us, answer the questions, and then hit that button on the bottom that says send it to us. And we'll get back with you and see what we can do about solving your problem. And I'll look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.